Yeah, the king crashed again on me, man. It's whatever. Honestly, like, I'm getting sick of these flipping game crashes. The safety car again. This is the fourth and last one, hopefully. Has anyone pitted for... Albo has pitted for a new pair of mediums. Yeah, because he started on the softs, so that's working out kinda good for him. Dead in P14. She's a P3. Ah, yeah. He was fighting with Coke and Lewis. Forgot about that. Yes, safety car still out. Well, Shazza P3. Lewis, and this thing. Jugger overtook Lewis for a split second, but the game thought that, and now the game gave Lewis to give the position back to Jogger. Hopefully Jogger gives the position back. That can be a penalty, I think. Well, anyway. Almost everyone is now everyone is behind the safety car. Lewis trying to overtake Jugger, or they're just trying to let each other through, but the game just decided not to. Safety car for the fourth and hopefully the last time in this lap. Lewis getting Albo hitting Lewis and Lewis spinning him off track. That's Lewis down to P16. Well, Albo got to 5 seconds, but Reggie, I think this is the third time that he's restarting this race. The other one to restart was Albo, but Reggie is going. He's going now, so hopefully this is the last time that we see the restart. And oh, they're going almost 3 wide there, and the Alpha Tauri getting a bit spun, I think, but they're going almost 3 wide into the turn 1 at the back there. Jesus Christ, this is so much confusing. Reggie staying in P1. Close to him is Coke, and as well close to him is Shazza. So that's gonna be a nice battle between them. Hype's retiring. That's not gonna be a safety car, I don't think. Lewis tried to overtake Shazza into the turn 4, but he didn't. But he couldn't overtake him. Albo already into P8, and that is not a safety car, which is good to see, because we don't want any more safety cars. Reggie still in P1. Trailing behind him, there is Coke, if he can stay within in the DRS zone. And if he could get the overtake on him, or at least get the position on him. Albo getting 3-second time penalty, so that's 8 seconds. That's 8 seconds of time penalties, I think, for him. Ted overtaking Jovi, and at the back there. Noise into P5 actually, and I think, does he have the? Yeah, he has his front wing. I thought that he didn't. Albo and Jogger, the teammates for this race, are battling out, and Albo hits Noise. He tries to dive bomb his own teammate, and his own teammate spins out of the second corner, but that's Albo who hit Noise. Albo tried to Jovi now re-overtaking Ted, but Ted defends the position well. George getting spun in the background there, but Albo trying to overtake his own teammate, but he took out the Alpine of Noise as well. At the background there, Luke spinning out of the first Lesmo. Coke being actually very close. Jogger retiring out of the second Lesmo. Shazza not having the best times, times here. It's going a bit because he's not actually catching up to Coke, but Coke doesn't have that much ERS actually. He has 20% compared to Reggie 50 and Shazza well 30 about. Now trying to catch up to Coke. As well, Coke has been using so much of his ERS, but Albo probably getting another penalty for that collision between him and Noise. Had a very good race, but had a very good race being in P5, but he got spun by Albo. Ted in P6 as well now, trying to catch up to Albo. Luke in the pits, so that's, you could kind of say that the race is over for him. The race is over basically for Levy and Luke. I know you could say the race open, or the DRS is enabled, so Coke is gonna get the help out of the DRS. Pete, I think something happened on Peak, or at least Lewis overtook Pete, but there was a yellow flag in the Lesmo, so I don't know what happened there, but we don't know. Coke almost having none of his ERS, as well Shazza doesn't have. Reggie having pretty much half of his ERS. Jovi spinning out of the exit of the Ascari. Lewis getting overtaken by Pete, and I think Noise as well overtook the pair of them. Now Lewis has the DRS. None of them have ERS, but Lewis has the inside line going into the first corner. Can Pete manage to be in the inside? Well, he managed, but he gets bad exit by going into the sausage curbs. And now he's getting overtaken by Lamas on the outside of the Curve Grande. Shazza as well being very close to Coke, but Lamas overtook Pete going into the fourth corner. But Lewis and Lamas have penalties, so Pete doesn't, so maybe he can stay behind them. Shazza still being close, as well as Lewis in the Alpine, using pretty hefty amount of his ERS, but he does have actually ERS compared to, well, Reggie as well has ERS compared to Coke, Shazza and Albo. Ted for now is in his own race. Forget him. Shazza trying to get closer and closer to Coke, but just not getting close enough to make a drive into the first corner. Maybe if you can get a good run on him on this Curve Grande and now into the fourth corner. But he's not getting close enough in here, so he has to wait for another day. Lewis getting overtaken by George, as well Lamas overtaking, I think, George. No, but something happened with Lamas, I think. George, something happened to Lamas, I think, because he went a bit wide, I think. But he's now down to P10. Shazza 4 tenths behind Coke, and Coke about 6 tenths behind Reggie. So it just looks like it's gonna be a battle between Shazza and Coke. Shazza being very close to Coke. Can he get the move here into Parabolica? I don't think it's a wise choice here, but he has to stay very close to Coke here. out of the Parabolica. He stays very close behind him, and none of them have ERS, but Shaza has the Red Bull engine. They're going side by side, going into the first corner. Shaza on the outside. He actually backs off of it a bit. Tried to switch back him, but doesn't manage to. Coke just barely managing to be in the DRS zone of Reggie. Reggie has a better pace. Coke has been spun. Coke has been spun by Shazza, and that's Lewis and Albo up into the podium places. That's Ted as well into the 5th place. Tifosi fans are angry, maybe as well a bit to Coke, but mainly probably to Shazza. To him to overtake. As Ted as well spins out of the second Lesmo, but Tifosi fans are angry to Shazza, who spun out their driver. Reggie probably getting the comfortable win now. Only 3 laps to go into this Italian GP. Lewis, well, he doesn't need to. George retiring out of this race, out of the Ascari. We won't see him, his car, probably. But Lewis fighting with Albo. He technically doesn't even need to fight with Albo since Lewis I think has been spun out of the second corner, and that's Albo oh, no wait, he has the 8 he has 8 seconds. So that's Shazza back into the P2, into the podium place, and that's probably P2 for him. So that's gonna be Red Bull 1-2 in the Italian soil, and that's Coke again going slow. That's as well Pete somewhere, and that's Ted Lamas. I think Lewis as well. Ted retiring on track. What's going on in here? Alpine Lewis let go his own teammate Noise into P4. Coke P6. Just for the Ferrari team, or the Italian teams, for the Alfa Romeo and Ferrari, this race was not going well from the start. Reggie starts the second to last lap. Lamas gets 3 seconds time penalty. Lepi has the blue flags on Reggie.